Okay folks, what we have here is a 1983 GL 1100 Goldwing Interstate. It's a nice bike, it's very clean. It's had a lot of upgrades made to it, and I'm going to walk you through some of those if my battery doesn't fail. It's getting a little low. As you can see, anti-dive suspension, Dunlop Elite 3 tires. They were replaced new this season. You can see the tread on them. The brakes, the calipers have all been rebuilt with high performance pads. All lines were replaced with HEL braided steel going up to the high performance reservoir and pump. It has an adjustable brake system. You can push this out and rotate the cam to set your brake lever to the depth that you want. Cruise control, ISO grips. The bike is clean. It's got the old school solid chrome valve covers on it. The exhaust is good. It has the saddlebag guardrails, which are good. Saddlebags, trunk, all the paint is 90% on the bike. The foot pegs have been upgraded to GL 1200 pegs. I know a lot of you folks like floorboards. Personally, I think floorboards are a safety issue. These pegs right here are wider and flatter. Plus they fold up and they have the guard on the bottom. There's a much better upgrade than a floorboard right there, and they're very comfortable. The exhaust is good on the bike. The rear tire is good. It's got a trailer hitch. 4-pin plug for your trailer lights. As you can see, it is tagged currently as an antique. I ride it every day. It's my daily driver. Luggage rack, trunk guardrail, CB antenna, and it has a place for an AM/FM antenna over here. The wiring is already done, run up to the fairing. And if you decide that you want to later on add a stereo to the bike, I do have the gauge cluster and the speakers to do that with. Right there, that's a $125 item right there. Alright, on this side you can see the bike's in good shape. There's a small spot on the exhaust here that could use to be buffed. That'll come back if you'll buff it. I may get to it before the bike sells. I don't know, I haven't had time. It has the Marklin headlight cover. Again, that's a rare, hard to find item. I don't know how well that shows up, but it really gives the bike a streamlined aerodynamic look. It's much better than an eyebrow or eyelid that they put on bikes these days, and it'll protect the headlight. It does have a new H4 headlight. The brake switches are new. The ignition system is an MSD system. It's a really nice upgrade for these 1100s. It really wakes them up. It makes more power and works better. Gives you better fuel mileage than what a standard Goldwing would get with a standard ignition system. If you own an 1100 and you haven't done the MSD upgrade yet, you should do it. It's well worth it, and it'll pay for itself over time. Dual tonneau covers on the top instead of the locking covers. It has dual tonneau covers. The tonneau covers are aged and could be replaced, but they're still serviceable. The bike runs 100%. It has progressive suspension front and rear. Steering head bearings have been replaced. Everything has been gone through on the bike save the engine, which has not been rebuilt because there's no need to rebuild it. Now the speedometer quit and was replaced with one from a standard, and the difference is that this speedometer shows a lot higher mileage. Actual mileage on the bike is around 50,000. This speedometer is showing 93. That's because it came off of a standard in a salvage yard, and the difference is that this speedometer goes to 150 and the one that came on it only went to 85. Speedometer is accurate to within 2 miles an hour. Now the bike has not been started. It's cold, as you can see by the temp gauge. I'm gonna fire it up for you. As you can see, no choke. Bike fires right up. No smoke. Bike idles cold with no choke. As you can see, runs smoothly. As you can hear, there's no odd noises coming from the engine. Engine never runs hot. One note on this bike, the fan for the radiator has been moved to a switch on the side. The only time I've ever needed to use this switch was in heavy traffic in the summertime. And in the wintertime when you ride, if it's cold, you can turn this on and it'll blow heat out on your feet. Nice feature, nice item to have. As you can see, very smooth, very responsive, no problems. All the lights work, all the turn signals work, all the gauges work, and yeah, it's low on fuel right now. Everything functions the way it's supposed to on the bike. The bike has been down at one time. You can see on the corners of the fairing there's a little bit of road rash right there on the corners, which I cannot get to show up in the photographs. I replaced this trim on both sides with brand new trim, and it doesn't show. You'd have to look for it to notice it. You might could see it a little bit on this side, just a little bit of it, but with the new trim it's hardly noticeable. Everything else on the bike is good. The fairing had a crack down low here. It's very common on these bikes. What happens is people are not careful when they bleed and flush the brake system, and they get a little brake fluid drippage right here, and that brake fluid will eat up this plastic. So this one had a little bit of a crack right here that was replaced with carbon fiber. This is a carbon fiber inlay right here. That's stronger than new. You'll never have any problems with it. It'll never break again. And even if you get brake fluid on it, it won't hurt it. Overall, the bike is an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. It could use a good wax and buff. All I did was wash the road dirt off of it. As I said, it is my daily driver. The reason I'm selling the bike, well, I found another one I want, and this one is pretty well done. It does have a ram mount on it right here for your camera. I'll demonstrate that to you. We're going to go for a little ride here in a minute. I'm going to show you how the bike handles and show you that it does run out good. Other than that, between the upgrades, it's got a 12-volt accessory outlet. The ISO grips, the braided steel, HEL braided steel lines, the master cylinders have been rebuilt with high-performance parts, calipers rebuilt, progressive suspension front and rear. That's a brand new seat on the bike. I'm going to stop here for a minute and I'm going to show you a few other things on it. Alright, we have the trunk open now. As you can see, it's got a little vanity mirror in the back. The stickers are there. These other stickers can be taken off. It's no big deal. Trunk is clean. Now the trunk lid does have a little crack. It's a little stress fracture right here. I can't get it to show up in the photographs. It's just a little crack. I've reinforced it with 3M tape behind, and it's not spread any further. I've not had any problems with it. Let me show you the saddlebags right quick. Okay, as you can see, I've got the saddlebag lid off. There's the sticker on the inside. It's all like new. As you can see, the bags have hardly been used on the bike. The rubber's good. All the seals are good. I just washed the bike. As you can see, there's no water inside, and that's with a high pressure hose directly on the bike. These do not leak. They're sealed. You'll love it. Armrests for your passenger. My wife doesn't like to ride without these. Alright folks, I'm going to take you for a little ride now just to show you that the bike does run good. No odd noises, no issues. The brakes are outstanding. The high performance braking system will stop you on a dime. But I'm going to take you down the road now. I don't have proper safety gear on, so we're not going to go far, but I want you to see that the bike does run outright. As you can see, no clunkiness in the transmission. The bike shifts smoothly. Go down this way. Nice thing about this is it's an 83. Let me get it over here in the sun real good for you. Alright, we're going to stop here in the sun for a minute where I can get a better shot. Alright, we're in the sun now. You can get a little better look at the bike. Being an 83, the bike has taller gears than an 80 through 82 model would. It gets better fuel mileage. Out on the freeway, it makes a huge difference in that at the freeway, cruising at freeway speed, this bike is barely turning 3,000 RPMs, whereas you're going to be turning a lot more revs on a 80 through 82. So you want the 83 if you can get it. It has the better tire size. It has the better wheels. You don't have to put up with the Comstar wheels and their limited tire availability. And again, as you can see, this one had Elite 3s put on at the start of the season. It's a very clean bike. It's a very good running bike. The bike is a solid performer. It runs well. Never had any issues with it. So we're going to take it back now. Key on here. You can see, fires right up, no problems. Find a nicer bike. You're not going to find one that runs any better. Extremely smooth, extremely powerful. And with that, I thank you for looking at our video. Thank you for looking at our auction. If you have any questions, give me a call or shoot me an email. Thank you very much.